I am taking a break from a lot of hardcore running. Still gonna do hardcore running, but I think it's better for my growth the way I want and uh, my leaning out the way that I want. Um, that I work on the discipline. Excuse me. I work on my discipline with some of the stuff that I didn't really need to cut to get this far. Because now I'm at the point where I just got a really fucking annoying gut, which doesn't fit the way I fucking feel, right? And so, not that I'm trying to make it hard for trolls to troll, although that does become a laughable byproduct of what has precisely dick to do with them. They certainly don't piss me off enough to motivate me. They're not very good at pissing me off. They don't know how to piss me off. They're used to people getting pissed off. Instead of somebody just saying, oh, wait a minute, shit, he forgot that he can just be rude to me. I think trolls believe uh, that if you're a YouTuber, you don't have a right to be rude to them. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So this path I'm walking is sometimes a path I run when I don't want to go anywhere fancy and I want to run. And I've got this big block that runs about 1.5 miles. So if I walk that 1.5 miles, I'm getting just and meanwhile I can sit back and I can reflect. Because I had a pretty cool day today. Today was a day of good acquisitions, right? I went nuts. Went nuts, and I picked up The Wall on vinyl. So I've got Pink Floyd The Wall. It's a classic. It's also, I like buying long albums where it's 2 records because it's just a high value because, you know, you're going to spend like 30, almost 30 bucks on one vinyl. So if the band made an album that goes into 2 records and you just pay 10 bucks more, um, that's like a whole album for a third the price. But yeah, so The Wall, really amazing. You know, hearing that, I was thinking about it last night, and thankfully the little record shop that I had my uh, little gift card for had it in stock. I picked up a new workout bench for when I don't go to the gym. Oh, this one's good. 40 bucks. It's the same size, except now I have a fixed seat and an adjustable back support like a normal workout bench. I'm so psyched. The other one just had a swiveling leg to put it down at an it was not a super useful fucking device. Needlessly bulky. You know, they purposefully like welded one side that could have been used for folding up for storage or something, right? But they welded it. I suppose because they're thinking about how much weight it needs to take. And anyway, this one's pretty tight. So yeah. All I need is a really small, collapsible like rack unit, and I kind of have my own little home gym at that point. If I even have the room for the rack unit. But I went to the gym anyway. It was leg day with a little bit of back. And I made an interesting and crazy video talking about the Bible veil falling, because that's been kind of an interesting point. And that video is about Dr. Amon Hillman, who had a conversation with Emily Moyer this week. I highly recommend everyone check that out. I've got a much clearer view of Dr. Hillman. Plus, listen, Emily, her intuition's on fucking point about a lot of things. She's fucking brilliant gal. And, you know, when she figures out how she wants to go into the study of something, she'll sit back, she'll make that time for it. I found the whole conversation so interesting. Right? Because I've interviewed Emily, and so, you know, I know her energy, and she knows my energy because she used to listen to me on Revolution Radio, and that's all there in that interview, yada yada yada. That football boy, what's going on, that football boy? Welcome to this channel. I don't know if you're a subscriber. On my channel, I kind of do a lot of personal vlogging, but my personal vlogging is about my work in both personal spiritual development and what I see as patterns out in the world that need to be addressed as a pattern with the people, and has to be addressed by the sources of those patterns and what's being used in those patterns, symbolisms, messages, so on and so forth. A de-occulting situation, a discussion of the esoteric matters, the metaphysical, yada yada yada. And because this channel is more about just me than it is really like its own fucking product, you know, I may want to fucking talk about music or whatever, right? And you know, I have the audacity of being a voice that believes I can quote wake people up, which is such a rude thing to say to somebody who thinks they got a pretty firm grasp on what's going on and what everything is. People don't even know that they don't know what everything is, let alone what's going on. And that's why you have a Lovecraftian madness kind of effect that comes from this cognitive dissonance being provoked, right? And then you start going into the blood frenzy with all the other fucking people caught up in it. Because you trick yourself into believing that just because the anti-gods are real and they exist, that they are gods proper to succumb to their influence. When the only thing that's actually happening is that you are afraid of yourself, and it's manifesting as a horrible demon that is trying to eat you alive because of the projection of the lies that you accept from their program of what happens before and after life, and so on and so forth. And it is so crazy convoluted that you go into either an oversimplified faith system and you keep certain fucking people away from wrecking it. And hopefully you're not lost in that sauce due to this problem. Because if you get lost in that, you cease to grow. You become a greater victim to the world that changes around you. If I didn't change in 2021, I wouldn't have any worth at all. You know, everything about what I could do to move forward and function was shattered by the end of that year. And I had to do something damn near desperate about it. Traffic Cone Gaming. Yo, did you hear about Ligma? What is Ligma? What is the significance of Ligma? Traffic Cone Gaming. Is it a game? Is Ligma a very interesting game with a deep message that's worth talking about? I love a great game. I love a game where, you know, the puzzle, the challenge is stimulating, and the artistic reward associated with that art can inspire us. The Assassin's Creed games. First couple of games were fucking masterpieces. Oh, you're adorable. Ah, you're adorable. See? And look at that. Now nobody's watching. So I tell you what happened. I bet you $1 million that football boy, who really didn't say nothing after Hay, had nothing to say. And so then this guy shows up. Why does this guy show up? I tell you why this guy showed up. Oh, you're still here? Well, the YouTube is pretty lazy. So, yeah. So you're still here. That's good for you. Why are you still here? What do you care? You're not an intelligent person. You're more interested in telling me about your genitalia. This is no place for that. You don't show a man your genitals on a night walk. It's rude. Nothing better to do. Well, you could go gaming. It's in your name. Go play a game. I'm not playing a game. I'm not very interesting. I'm not a gamer. I maybe put one game up once on, I think it was my other channel before it got deleted. Want to know why my channel got deleted? Because there was a lot of censorship. And I fought really hard and made sacrifices to push that censorship. Because I noticed something. After they take down a certain amount of people from censorship, they don't bother you when you come back. That's the interesting thing. They don't bother you when you come back. Because, you know, it's kind of silly, but, you know, the way they ended the third Matrix film, right? What happens? Neo dies, and then the Matrix itself comes back, and they fix everything. He gets his way. Fourth film comes out. Wasn't supposed to happen, but it's the same thing. It's just like your account got deleted because you had a fight with Deus Ex Machina, but you come back and they try to re-trap you in. Now, in that story, of course, you know, Neo kind of loses, has to become the mortal man again and get rewoken up. Imagine coming back in fully activated from the get-go, right? But they can't do that in a film like Matrix 4. It would make your character so powerful that you really wouldn't want to have him be your main character. You'd have to turn him into a supporting role because his very presence destroys the threat in the movie. It's like your heart can't sit there and wait for Iron Man to save Spider-Man. You see how that works, right? You watch a Spider-Man movie and you didn't go to IMDb. You're just like, ooh, I wonder if Iron Man's gonna show up, right? And that's something that they kind of built into the cake with the amount of work that they put Robert Downey Jr. In with the Spider-Man movie, various scenes, the way the Avengers panned out, yada, yada, yada. You're playing Cookie Clicker. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Why are you playing Cookie Clicker? That doesn't sound like it's a very developmental game. I mean, I'm sure it's kind of challenging and fun, and you're probably getting a serotonin hit from all the pretty colors and noises. But man, you should try playing a few games with tactics or something. You know, it was a simple game I found fun. What the fuck was it called? It was like Alien Invasion or something, right? And you played a fucking cool tentacle monster, and you just ran around and ate things, and then you got enough points to upgrade yourself, and you'd slowly upgrade yourself, and then you'd expand, and you'd have more rooms to search, and there'd be more powerful guys that you have to get more power so you could eat them, and that's a fucking cool game. But when I got the new phone, I found out that game doesn't port. That game is slaved to my old phone. It wouldn't let me fucking keep the character. I put hours into that. So it's just like, okay, fuck you, game developer. That's fucking a rotten game design if I can't port it over. I'm not interested in going through that again. You only give me one fucking character slot. And you play. Are you just a simple games guy, or is that game like sports? Do you play sports and this is all you have time for? Are you actually like physically fit? Because I was under the impression of video games, but I suppose considering there's a football guy here, you know, I'm certainly not getting certain kinds of crowds, which probably makes sense. Because I think a lot of the people that need to be reached nowadays for consciousness and empowerment, improvement, I think a lot of them are already making the decision to fucking get offline. It's unfortunate, you know, people are probably overwhelmed by internet influencers and just doesn't want the internet social media to influence them much anymore as it is, right? So I think that there's a lesson in that. Kids, you gotta go out there and do it in the physical world. You gotta change your location, or you make changes to your location. But that is your power and your act. As an awakened one, here, enjoying the Maya with the rest of everyone else. If you don't understand any of those strange words, you should culture yourself on different kinds of mythologies and ancient languages of those ancient mythologies, and try to stay focused on the oral tradition, because that's where you're going to get the most archaic. And it's also going to require you to listen. Because there's something in its archaic tongue from those who have preserved it. I'm just too dumb to comprehend anything past Minecraft. Huh. Well, that's interesting. So, let's talk, if you don't mind calling yourself dumb. What would you say is your reading and arithmetic level? Right? How large is your vocabulary? And you know, how much math can you do? And I just want to let you know that math is pretty fucking weak for me, right? I'm not like the biggest math guy. I'm pretty fucking simple. I need it for basic commerce and I need it for basic numerology. Other than that, I'm still working on advanced mathematics. So don't feel bad. Small, nothing past 7th grade. My friend, oh. Are you a young person? I typically say these are not made for kids. Are you in the 7th grade? Although I don't think a 7th grader would call themselves dumb, because you have the fucking... You have the gift of the time of being a 7th grader. You're an eldritch god beyond human comprehension. Yeah, yeah. No, you're not. No, you're not. You'll be in 7th in a week. Shoot, how long was I out? I did not expect on a casual walk in my own neighborhood for the internet to cut. Okay, so you're a 7th grader. All right, you're a young one. That's fascinating. All right. All right, because you're young and you're allowed to be more immature, I'm going to give you a little bit of grace on that lick of my balls joke. All right? Okay, kid. I get it. Because you're a kid. All right, you're playing around. That works with your little mind, the game you're playing. Oh, the screen flipped on me. That's interesting. There I am. Okay. No, you're 70? Oh. So you're a liar. Come on, you did not mean to write 70 and it said 7th. So, I don't know who you are, other than someone who just wants to fuck with me and thus is pretending, right? So, I'm gonna have some fun. Hey, what's up, Adam Weber? And I think you're just talking about the women opossums. But anyway. So anyway, I was talking to this child over here called Traffic Cone Gaming, who was playing with his digital nipples while listening to me, because I guess he's too stupid or something. Which, of course, it's very normal for a 7th grader to call themselves stupid. At least they know their place, right? So anyway, this kid, I want you to look up the trivium, kid. Rhetoric, arithmetic, and logic. Trivium. Trivium. I want you to look that up. And then after you're done looking that up, you're going to look up the quadrivium. Quadrivium. Those two things will set you straight on proper knowledge and wisdom as you navigate school and life. Your school may be so well to eventually teach you that. It should be the first thing they ever should have taught you. I want... I caught some of that before you removed it. Something about music. You trying to make a music channel? Is that what you're trying to do? Yeah? What kind of talent do you have? Do you sing? Do you have a whole band? Are you talented with digital music? Be a song for your friend. Alrighty. So you just need to throw a channel up to put the song up so you could share it publicly for your friend, right? Just you just go to like the YouTube front page. You should be able to create. You should create an account. Not this count because you know, if you want to speak like a douchebag, you may not want to have uh, that account associated with this account, so you don't talk on your music account. So you start a new account and you make that a channel. Then you can upload it to the channel and that's it, you're done. Very easy to do. You can do that right now and wouldn't hurt my feelings if you left the chat room. It wouldn't be able to go onto you. Why wouldn't it be able to go onto YouTube? Is it a dirty fucking song? Did you write a song all full of fucking horrible words? You don't have your own email. That's a lie. You have to provide an email to make an account on YouTube. Typically a Gmail account, which they will take you through the steps to make, because you have to register your YouTube account. Otherwise, you can't participate in conversations. So that's called a lie. Why are you lying to me? Right? So it doesn't really matter why you're lying to me. I'm starting to not like you, by the way. You used your mom's email for this. Well, like I said, I'm gonna laugh my ass off when you have to explain yourself to her. Because she's gonna take a peek at my channel and be like, oh my god, you're watching this guy? So anyway, if you up there are a seventh grader, I don't care if this guy she monitors all your videos. Okay, good. This is hysterical. Because mom should know this too. Mom, your kid needs to know the trivium, Mom. Your kid needs to know the quadrivium. It's good that he plays nerdy little games for his brain. But he's gonna have to do some stuff. He might have to get athletic. You may have to increase his vocabulary to have a greater command of life. Be able to convey his needs more properly and realize how much more can go his way in life and how much better he can do well with others. Through making sure that these things exist, regardless of what curriculum you think is best for him. things like the trivium and quadrivium, if those are not there, then you've made a reasonable error, considering how hard they have worked to make these principles not important. Just like knowing natural law in the word in a secular sense, right? And to say that best under diplomatic circumstances. You know, when I'm talking amongst my peers who know are on a certain spiritual level, you know, the law is subject to the higher force. But because not everybody fully understands the context, and we're trying to talk about the same thing everybody else is talking about, just a little bit for understanding, just like anything else. Enough to be an important distinction amongst our own, but it's also included when we try to speak of the higher force. Yeah. Aren't you silly? It's alright. He gets to be silly because he's 7. Now, he doesn't get to be rude, and he doesn't get to be crude, but he gets to be silly because he's 7. Or in the 7th grade. Whatever. Child. What is metaphysical, self-sufficient sustainability? Well, fucking A, Adam Weber. Somebody asking me to talk about something that matters. Fucking A. Thank you, Adam. What is metaphysical, self-sufficient sustainability? Beautiful. Well, you see, right now, because of resources involved, it's like looking for the philosopher's stone. It's like looking for free energy, right? You're trying to put a very complex puzzle together to take your true core essence and give it a permanent upgrade through the spiritual technology governing your energy body, which then affects your DNA, which then affects your cellular reproduction and reconstruction process. You see, right? So that is what I am trying to do with myself while I'm, you know, busy with all the other things going on, right? That's why there's so much body focus, because it's the last piece of the puzzle. I kind of went for spiritually straighten things out first, mentally straighten things out second, and physically third. I should have done it the other way around, but as the circumstances surrounding me found myself, I wouldn't have been a fucking happy person if I didn't, under the context of my life back then. To get myself where I want to be as a state of being, physically, mentally, spiritually. I do these rituals, and I try to make these rituals efficient and hold energy in place particularly in a way that holds for long, long, long periods of times, right? You know, because there's little things in ritual you gotta do every day. There's big things that you gotta do every month. And there's gigantic things you have to do every year. All right? When you kind of understand magic and time cycles in this way, right? Daily rituals typically can be very small, very short affairs. The point is that you're hitting all the notches for stimulating your mind and body to do certain things. Go through the repetition so it not just physically feels right, but it spiritually feels right, and your mind stays focused throughout the whole process, which enhances the flow state of going through the ritual until it's automatic. And then that transfers to a lot of your personal energy field on the regular, which changes the power dynamic difference between you and other people. Continuing as is after disembodiment. You were diagnosed with some nonsense, which sounds like it's meant to entrap me in saying something that will be like licking my balls. So you can just go ahead and you can hit the punchline now to whatever that was, because you're 12 and into the 7th grade. You have a question. All right. Please be a serious question. My expectations are low right now because you're playing games on your mom's computer. I got a D in me. Sure. Whatever that means. Life is a manual transmission. Full control. Dreams are automatic transmission. Limited control. Death is autopilot. No control. Continuing one's predestined trajectory. Well, I think that death is autopilot for the unconscious. Like, if you don't fulfill your dharma sufficiently, which is likely to weigh heavy. I'm not going to say that. I don't know if I can say that. You see, I've had Anubis on the mind a lot, and I don't know if the scales always mean a second death if they're heavy. I kind of like to think that, like, if they're a little heavy, you're not going to go through the second death. I almost want to say that, like, you know, your heart's not just given to Amit. It's just like it falls off the scale from its weight into Amit's mouth, right? It's just like, that's what I think it is. I just think that the heart side of the scale just has Amit underneath it. And then it'll just lower into her fucking mouth. Right? That's what I think makes it this terrifying moment. Lost connection? I'm still here. Let's see. So, if you prep your life well, if you prep your mind well, I think that there's different stuff that you have control over in the afterlife, similar to how much talent you have as a lucid dreamer, but it takes more than being talented at lucid dreaming. Uh, it takes the rest of your life also being in order, right? Because we're dealing with this archonic overlay corrupting the wheel of samsara, you see. And if you're living out of alignment, you're going to have a hard time on this wheel, which shouldn't even be the way that it is, but it is the way that it is because of the inversions. Ignorance, desires, and fears. See that breathing? The absolute toughest thing. All right, kid. All right, Mr. 12 years old in the 7th grade, but I don't believe you, but it's not relevant because this is a good lesson for the audience, whether you want to be a snot-nosed punk or a good kid in class. Pranic breathing. Absolutely basic, quintessential. Getting in strong, slow, deep breaths of oxygen. Holding in a moment, exhaling it just as long and slow. Holding it, inhaling it, just in a nice, even rhythm. And you can do all sorts of other stuff. Alternate nostril breathing, in and out. I know it's dark, but if you could follow my hands in the shadows there. Box breathing, which basically you pick a time, like 5-10 seconds. Breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, repeat ad nauseum, right? These are different ways of cycling oxygen and carbon dioxide through the bloodstream, through the body. It gives your diaphragm extra exercise. It gives your heart it's very good for your heart in ways that I can't simply explain, other than to say things along the lines of how it helps in your ability to keep going, right? For the side of me that does running, right? It's like my heart is never the issue with running. If I'm ever getting somewhere to where I'm done running, that's usually in the legs, you know, and that takes a hot minute. You know, I can push myself at least 2 miles. I might need a break after 2 miles, but I can go 1.5 miles without stopping, right? On uneven terrain on a hot day. Let's see. Gaming here. Have you played Black Myth? Okay, go check it out. Black Myth Wukong. Oh, I've seen commercials for that game. That game kind of looks neat. Let's see. Preposterous in my pantsy wancy. Ah, okay. The closer one gets to their shadow, the smaller the shadow becomes. The word noon is Old English. Known. Maximum illumination. Noon and known. Wow. Yeah. Yes. Yes, that makes perfect sense, because at noon, your shadow is the shortest. It's closest to you. You cast the least amount of it, right? And this is an energetic significance with astrology in general, because your midheaven point has its own traits, and that's when the sun is midheaven, and the light is the most direct energy of the sun that we are correspondent with. I was born at sunset. I was born after the sun had just gone down for a bit. But I have things like Jupiter in my midheaven. So matters of Jupiter, also matters of Mars, are known to me because they are noon. And what's actually kind of interesting is that that's also close to noun. And what is a pronoun? Well, what is to precede a thing, right? And what does it mean for you to dictate the preceding noun to you? Right? You will learn the answer to that question through the rhetoric in the trivium, as well as the study of etymology. Etymology is the study of words. It gets into the deep history of the word. The deep history of the word matters because on a primordial level, there's a deeper implied meaning that cannot be removed from it because it is part of a problem in our thinking that was forced into the insertion, right? Remember in 2020, the way that they said saying certain things a certain way were troublesome, right? It was a time where you could be violently retaliated upon for using certain words a certain way, right? There was a distinct decrease in the freedom of the First Amendment that was primarily being enforced in the digital space and in open public commerce spaces. And there's still much of it occurring today. Komau Roya. Like number 4. Kia Myoja Yegi. Okie dokie. Whatever that means. Hi, welcome to the show. I appreciate all communication in English or not at all. Thank you. If you're going to use any foreign language, please translate. Maybe if I was sitting at my desk and fully engaged in the chat group that way, I may feel differently. But right now, in real time, English, please. So anyway, you're going to want to learn the etymology. This is going to help you out tremendously in life, right? Know that there is something called legalese. Legalese is the rhetoric and the context which changes the meaning in a particular way of the definition of words that you may be using in your regular speech that have a very particular meaning in court. And that you may also want to curb your language if you wouldn't say that to a judge knowing the difference. Because that could save your ass in court one day when you need to speak properly for yourself. And it takes just a little bit more than blind obedience to what may be a reasonably, objectifiably good lawyer. All right? Know about what it means to be a bar lawyer. Look up the British Accreditation Registry. And ask yourself why we are using a British law practice organization in order to be a judge, to be a lawyer. And know what you have to do to make the right deal with these emissaries of that authority structure. I am not qualified to give you legal advice, and I have burned myself a long time ago experimenting with this kind of stuff. There's a way to do it properly. I did not do it properly. But I am telling you because I don't always do things properly. And I'll come back to it when I can. But I'm telling you to go down that road. So by the time you're an adult, you might be able to claim your name back. Because you need to know that you are not your name, and that somebody has made a legal straw man in your name when your parents registered your birth certificate. And so you're going to want to be careful about the reputation legally associated with your legal name. Contextualize it with your family name, despite it being written the same. Oh, they're hanging out on the roof. That's cool. Oh, okay, they got a porch thing. That's neat. All right, just some ladies hanging out on a porch. Let's see. They didn't answer your question. Well, you're going to have to ask the question again because I have no context to your question. All right? You have to understand that the universe doesn't revolve around you, Mr. 7th grade 12-year-old. So if you want your question answered, you have to put it in the form of a full sentence. What do you need answered? I am in French. Yes, oui. I am. Oh. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's interesting. All right. All right. So you're starting to throw weird stuff at me. And now I don't trust you. So I've played with you for long enough, and you're going to hide from the channel now. Because now I don't like your energy. So, nil neti via negative negation. I am not this, I am not that. Okay, so are you saying that that means in French the opposite of Jesus? So are you saying that that's is that the name of the French Antichrist? What are you getting at? Because nete, like, other than like the goddess of the night sky, night, or a net, like the house of the net, which would be associated with Thoth and Loki. Well, anyway. Okay, thanks. I think I've dropped quite a bit of nuggets of gnosis and wisdom, and a bunch of other mumbo jumbo that the algorithm just is too retarded to know what to do with, and thus gives me really retarded people to do something with it. But that's okay. I mean, I only called the video a Nightwalk. That could mean anything, right? It's almost like my channel doesn't have any context. Alright, I'll catch you later.